Today is Tuesday, May the 13th. Let me set up my camera here. Yep. And put it up on my desk. Today we're going to, this is my writing journal. I want to fix the spine. I want to do some fussy cutting. I'm going to do some paper weaving. And we are going to work in my packing paper journal. So let me put my phone up on the stand and get things set up. Hi, Arlene. Good morning, Miss Arlene. Good morning, good morning. I might need to zoom in just a little. That might be a little much. Come on, Mary. We'll try that. Let me get over to my other device here and get into my stream. Make sure my sound is off. Hold on. Otherwise we'll get sound. And I want to go to my stream. There I am. So I can see you guys when you come in. Skip the ad. Arlene is here. We've got 3 of you out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's put this, get these things off my desk for now. We're going to work on the spine first of my writing journal, and then I'm going to do some paper weaving with strips of paper that I cut or tore from Jacqueline's papers. I did a circle page, and these were the strips of paper that were left from the circle page. I want to weave those together. I got the inspiration out of, I think out of the What Women Create or the Somerset Studio magazine. Let me fix things up here to all messages. Arlene is talking to me this morning. I might have to zoom out a little. Let me fix the quality. Arlene says good morning. How are you doing this morning, Arlene? There's Angie. Hi, Angie girl. Jacqueline passed your message along to me where you said hello. Tell Mary I said hello. All right. We're going to leave it like this for now. I might need to tip it. Well, we'll leave it like this for now. And what I want to do is, I'm going to take my pen out. It's starting to rip and tear down here. And I want to take this spine out. And I want to remove these little gold embellishments. And you can see I have this fabric, this chucked kind of red and black fabric. That is what I want to put on the side here, because I would love to leave it like this, but if I do, I am using this so much that I'm going to destroy that. So I think I have another piece of that red fabric left. Good morning, ladies. I'm a little early. We had a Fib Diggity Creator stream last night, and I was still not tired when we ended that, so I stayed up a little later. I need to do something with some of this fabric here. This is kind of fabric I keep in here for when I need strips of fabric. This one got all crumbled. Let's fold it up. I tear words off of this one. I'm looking for that red and black. Hopefully I haven't used it all. I thought I had a piece of it left. I could use the music. We'll save the music out. This is a big piece that, oh, I might have used it. So embroidery floss. Oh no, she says, oh no. I don't think it's in here. I like this too. Let me take this blue out. I don't know if I have enough of it left. No, I sure don't have any of that left in here. If I have it around, it's not in this box. And I'll probably, oh, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. I want to fix that spine. Good. And we'll just put all this back in. This is kind of fabric I keep in here. This piece should really come out. This is a piece of Cantha. I think this is Cantha stitching. I don't know if you can see the running stitches, but there's all these running stitches. And it's a nice big piece. And I really like it. And I don't want to cut it up. I'm thinking a book cover or maybe two. But when I get to it. Yeah, we'll just tuck that in. Tuck these in. And let's take the music and the blue, put those back in. And this little box is filled. Yes, it is. Alrighty. And, whoops, I didn't get all this other. Oh dear. We got some extras up here that, there we go. Good morning, ladies. Angie says, I'm running around with my head chopped off. Oh, Angie, put that head back on. She's trying to get ready to go to the eye doctor. Well, I hope you have a good day with the eye doctor. I hope everything goes good. We got 5 of you in here this morning. It's still a little early. Put your head back on, Angie. All right. Whoops. I got a little piece left out here. We'll just keep it out. So, this is what I have. And this is what I want to use for the spine. Will I have enough? I might just have enough. I do. Just enough. Yay. But what I want to do is take these off. And I'm debating whether just to cut them out. I think I will. And then I'll just leave the rest of this. This one is just about done for here. Let's just take my scissors and snip it off. And put it in a special place. And then I'm going to have to let me get my X-Acto knife out. Angie, I'm getting the knife out. Maybe this one. or where's the other one? Is in here someplace. I'm not going to go hunting for it too much here. Let me scoot up to my chair, to my desk a little more. Good morning, ladies. All right, I just want to get a start here. And get my scissors in that slit that I made, if I can find it. Now, and I want to cut that symbol out. And I figure if I can leave the rest of the spine, it'll help hold it together. But I want the symbols, so I'm going to put the symbols on the outside. See where I'm going? No, that's going to be kind of hard to cut. I just about have it here. There we go. And this one and that one. Yeah, get a hold of it here and cut it this way. Got a nice little square there. And let's do this one over here. This one should be pretty easy to get, because it's almost out of there anyway. There we go. Now, what I think I should do is reinforce this. Because if I just put my cloth over that, it's going to, yeah. So maybe this watercolor paper would be just about the right size. Let's measure. And that is 2 inches. 2 inches by 2 inches by, I need better lighting, 7.5. So let's cut this. Let me grab my trimmer. 2 inches by 7.5. to open this up. And 7.5 is right there. And I got a little piece. All right. Put this back. Now this is going to go on here. And I think I'll put that on first. And how am I going to put it on? I think I'll put it on with this fine art glitter glue. That seems pretty strong. Good morning, Becky. Hi, Create and Relate. Hi, Cynthia. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning. Arlene says, I love denim. So lots of my old altered books have denim spines. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of using this checked because I used it inside here. I don't want it to coordinate. So I am going to use this fine art glitter glue. And we're just going to spread it all around in here. I probably should have done this first when I first bound it, but I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up. Now, set this down and spread some on here real fast. All right, now, if and I can get this on in place here, just to kind of strengthen that spine. And it's not gluing the signatures down. It's just gluing the spine. I'm going to turn it this way. It's a little bit big, but I think my wrap around here will compensate for that. I might trim it a little. Put some pressure on it. Yeah. Now, hold on. Let me get a cutting board out here. And it isn't going to matter if it's not straight because it's going to be covered up. I'm going to trim a little of this off. And do I want to leave that? For now, I'm going to leave that. And this, I think, will be okay. No, well, I think it will be because I'm going to cover this up. I'm not sure if I want all of this, though. I could put some of that fabric in there. I might tuck some fabric in there. All right, so now I want to put and I've given up using this little thing. I'll have to clean it out good, but I don't use it very much anymore, the little pointy. I just got tired of fooling with it. So now what I want to do is use this and Let's see, let's use it this way. Now, I don't know, I think I need to trim some of that off yet. It's still, well, this way it's fine, but when I go to put my fabric on, let's just trim more of this. And it isn't going to matter if it's not straight because it's going to be covered up. I just need some strength on that spine. And let's do the same thing over here again. Get a little bit more of this off. Okay, now I just wanted to strengthen that, and see, look how crooked it is there. Let's do some more trimming. Trim it this way. And I'm just not sure that I want that in there. Maybe if I round the corners a little. All right, we'll leave it for now. I kind of like it there, but I'll have to put some fabric on that. All right, so this is going to come this way and wrap around and wrap around. But I think I'll cover this first. But let's rip it here. Right there, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to go down one just to be safe. And then what I want to do before I put this piece on is cover this with a little snippet of about 2 inches. Well, maybe not 2. Get that scrappy off. And I want to put it down inside like this and let it fall. Yeah. Let it fall over the side here. I don't need all of this. Maybe about to here. And see, I have written clear into, I put a lot of my gardening stuff in here. I've written clear into here. This is all about the garden. Here's me pushing the wheelbarrow down the street. Pushed it a half a block from the garden down the road to the black walnut tree. And over here, I have some mineral tubs that I got at Facebook Marketplace. And I've got 2 of them out here underneath the black walnut tree, 2 by the tree by the park bench, and I have 6 left. I've got 1 over here by the raised bed, and I'm going to move the other 5 around. My brother's cucumbers are right here, and he's got tomatoes in here and zucchini. And we have a real problem with morning glories growing up around in this area. So I'm going to put landscape fabric back down. My cannabulbs I planted, this fence goes way down to the end of the garden. I put my cannabulbs in here. There's a fence, little wire or metal fence that comes down this way. My cannabulbs are right in here. And I'm going to put landscape fabric around in here, and I'm going to put those mineral tubs on top of that landscape fabric. And I think I'm going to plant things like basil and dill and my herbs. I might put a daisy in there because this whole area gets full sunlight. And then my raised bed is over here, and then in here we're going to have a watermelon patch. On the other side of the tomatoes, we're going to have corn, and then on the other side of the raised bed, we're going to have okra. I still have some dirt. This is the raised bed. I still have some dirt in there that I'm going to use to fill these tubs. And then that should be pretty well cleaned out. All the dirt should be spread around. So we can plant our corn and our okra, hopefully this week yet. I tell you, it's been a lot of prep work. I hauled about 12 to 15 trips of wheelbarrow dirt into the corner here because it really the dirt needed help around in here. This is compost, not dirt, it's compost. And around that black walnut tree, here's my black walnut tree. The street comes around this way, like this, and this is a curve. And we've got some volunteer hollyhocks growing around that curve. They're going to be really pretty this year. But the rest of it is kind of sparse. Everything, we got a couple of hosta plants that survived. So I filled in all the spaces with this compost, and I want to plant some fern because I read that fern survives underneath of a black walnut tree. So, and then I think I'll plant in various areas here zinnia and coneflower in there and see how that survives. So I got my work cut out for me yet over here and in my book. But I wanted to show you that from here, from this page here, clear over to, I think I started writing about my garden right here, in here. So all of this is garden journaling. And see, I even drafted I drafted someplace in here how I wanted where is it? How I wanted the garden to look. Like here's the raised bed. Here's the okra. I'm going to have marigolds planted in here. This, going down this way, is landscape fabric. And this really goes over. This is the raised bed. This is landscape fabric, but it really goes over to this corner here. So that we can drag our garden hose this way without, and I'm going to plant flowers in here. I'm going to put my Japanese indigo in here, which is little tiny seedlings now. They're growing. And I think I'm going to, I have marigolds that we planted online here, and they're about this high. They could be put in the ground. I'm going to line the landscape fabric with marigolds. And I want to sneak some marigolds around his tomatoes to keep the marigolds and basil are good to plant around tomatoes. And there's onions in here. And then this is the fence. Canna bulbs are here, and up in here is where I'm gonna, we got onions, zucchini, tomatoes, and cucumber in there. And over this way is where the watermelon's gonna be. But it's pretty much, I haven't done a video of it yet because it's all dirt right now, except for his plants that he planted. I'm waiting. I got the onions planted and the canna bulbs, and I'm just kind of waiting to get some plants. So then I just kind of planned it out. I did a draft over here first, and then I figured out my spacing over here a little bit better. But I think what I'm going to do is skip several pages here for the rest of my garden journal in here. I don't know, it might be all kind of mixed up in here. So I'm having fun with this writing journal though. So what I want to do is take this and drop it in here, I think. I'll put some glue on it, and I might have to use I might have to tuck it in somehow. I guess best to have it up this way and just kind of tuck it in with my fingers. Maybe if I open it up a little, that works. And then just fold it over. Alrighty. So let's put some glue. Whoops. Let's drop some glue in here. And on here. Whoops. Got a thread. Come on. Of course you're going to get in the glue. No, I still didn't get it. Alright, let's put glue on here. And I want to drop this in here. This is kind of a repair job. I'll get my finger in there and press it down. And then I'm going to bring it around this way and glue it down here. Out to where that mark is. And this will be covered up on the spine when I put the other on it. It's not straight, but if it looks good here, that's all that counts. My finger in there and press it down. All right, now I want to take this piece and put it on here. And let's put it this way. If I put it there, wrap it around, I think I can make this a little shorter. Yeah. Let's cut it. And or tear it, right? I think I already have it torn there. Right here. So let's start here. And let's glue this down first. And I'm using the Fine Art glitter glue to do this. I think it will hold it. I hated to cover this spine up, but I knew it was going to get destroyed in the long run. So it's better to take care of it now. Alrighty. Now let's put this on. And here. That'll dry clear, hopefully. So I'm going to some glue on my fingers there. Oh, it's a little short, but that's okay if that brown shows on the back. Just straighten that out. It's a little short. I mismeasured a little, but that's that brown on the back. This is the back of the book. So let's do this. I should probably be using Yes Paste, but this works too. Get that string off there. I want to thank Laura Vasquez and Renee Suzanne for the Fine Art glitter glue. They said, Meri, you need to try it. We'll send you some, and they did. Bless their hearts. Now I think I can trim a little of this off up at the top, and I think I'll do that now. It's hard to see it, but it'll be easier to do now than later. And if it's not perfect, it's okay. I don't go too much for perfection. I don't go hardly at all for perfection. I left just a little extra because if I don't leave extra and trim off, then I never have enough. And that's kind of what happened here. I should have made this a little bit bigger. But I don't mind that brown stripe on the back. All right, I think this is going to be good. And this, I just left the frayed edge here. I don't mind that. And so let's glue this down. And it comes to right about there. Let me put a strip of glue down here. And let's put some on the fabric. And stretch her down. Come on. There we go. I'm liking that. And I hated to do that, but if I wouldn't have done it, the whole spine would have been. Now I have these little symbols that I saved off. Let's glue them back on the spine. Now I'm going to have to fix this one. have it upside down. We'll put this one at the top. Whoops. My hand jerks things around. I've got 4 of them. This bottom one is, I may not use it on the, I may just put it on a page inside because it's only half of a symbol. We'll just use 3 of them. Put them in here. Something like this. Just open my book. Let it stand a little. Yeah, getting glue on my hands and don't have a towel to wipe my fingers off with. What I have it right in. I think I should put it over one. Right in there. Let me get a towel. Hi, Cindy, Rain Girl. It's good to see you. Good morning, Jacqueline. Hi, Lala. Arlene is here. You like that frayed edge, Jacqueline? I was thinking I need to put some of your dyed paper in here. I'm getting there. Let me get the glue off my finger here. Angie says, I'm in the car. I had to come with Mom to bring the 5-year-old to pre-K. And then I'm on my way to the eye doctor. I have to be there at 8:30. Well, Angie, if you're listening out there, we're sending you with good wishes to that eye doctor. All right about in there. Right about there, if I can remember. Let's put glue on here. And make sure I have it the right way. What did I say? Right about in. Right about in there, I think will be good. Oops, maybe up a little. And over a little. That's pretty good. They may not be perfect, but I'm okay with it. And then this one right in there. And we'll be done with that. I had a ribbon in it, but I didn't like it. So I took it out. All right, down in. Right about in there, I think. We'll do it. Maybe over a little. Over a little, Mary. There. So there we go. There's my spine. And we'll just let that cure. I like it. I hated to cover it up, but it needed to be done. It needed to be done. Now let's clean my, and I think I put that cap back over here. Where did I put the cap? Here it is. Yeah, it's not clean. Can't see. I need a lot better lighting in here. All right. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. Let's take that. I had that other one. What did I do with it? I said I was going to put it on the inside someplace. And I've lost it already. Is that it? Here. let's put it, let's put it up here. So it looks like it's coming out of the, I already put my glue. It's just a half of a symbol. I'll put it up toward the top. Maybe right in there, so it looks like it's tucked in. All right. Now I lost my point again here. Let's put that back. My little cap. My scissors away here. These go to my tatting. And let's get rid of all the scrappies. Come on. Not the fabric scrappies. We'll save the fabric scraps. Alrighty. I'm glad I took time to do that today. This is a fabric scrap. You know, I should put them on my pages in here maybe. Let's find a page. You know, a page like this. Oh, I put Don't Hide Your Magic there. How about putting this in here, just like that? And maybe I'll put a word or something on it later. Oh, let's get my... Let's play with this a little. The string off of it. My plastic sack that I keep all my trash in is falling off of the knob that I keep it on. There. Okay. Let's just spread some glue on this. And we'll put it in here. Just to kind of dress up as kind of don't hide your magic. Don't your don't your And I got that other strip. See, I've started putting corners in here, collage corners. In the back, I got more to do in the back. Let's put this, where's a good place to put it? This is more collage work. There's Dee Dee's Monopoly card. She sent me some Monopoly, let me move it down. She sent me some Monopoly cards. And this is the Advance to the Nearest Railroad. I think I have the Get Out of Jail Free card in here someplace too. Let's see, let's put this one toward the back. Will it fit? Just a little long. I could use it as a bookmark. Maybe I'll save it as a bookmark and do a bookmark later. And this will go back in my, in case I want more of it, I'll save it. This will go back in my fabric box. And let's see, I don't need the pliers. Put those away. I don't need my X-Acto knife. I don't need my utility knife. I've got a ruler, scrap, a mark making tool, scrap. My tatting, I want to take those back out in the other room. I'm just kind of cleaning off my desk over here. Alright, let's put the cap back on this. That needle needs to be cleaned off. Can't see. I don't have very good lighting. I can't see things. Alrighty. I need my pen. I want to put my pen back. What did I do with the pen? Put my pen in there, and when I go to write, let's see, we can go to the end here, and I can do, these are things I need to get done. Landscape fabric around the corner, that's what this one is. Transplant vine to around here. This is the black walnut tree. Then there's a little plot of, there's a sidewalk coming this way around the corner. And then there's a grassy plot up in here, and my brother built a little stone fence right up in here. And we have this vine that's just growing wild up around the terrace on the right off the front porch. I'm going to move some of that vine down into here. I might put some around here, but I'm afraid it'll take over that whole spot. I guess I can always tear it out if it does. But that's what that is. I need to transplant that vine. I need to pull some weeds out of this corner spot. There's some dandelion and some volunteer trees that need to come out before I spread out all my dirt. So that's what that is. That's what all that is. Finished filling the raised bed. So I need to, I'm going to get some more dirt for my raised bed over here. We've got that compost in there, but it needs some dirt. So I'm going to get a couple bags of dirt and put in here. I was thinking about, I don't know if I need it, because I don't think we have that many wild animals in town that will come and jump in there. We might have a couple rabbits, but you can get these and they're pretty cheap. Off of your raised bed, you can get these netting kits. They're kind of fit on hoops. I think there's 6 of them, and then you put the netting over the hoop and it protects your plants. The only thing that's I'm kind of hesitant about is we get pretty high winds. So I'm debating whether I want to get a netting kit, but that's one of my to-dos here. Oh yeah, I need to do some weeding. My brother, under our dining room window, my brother planted tulips. They've already, and bulbs, and they've already bloomed, but there's some dandelions growing up in there that I need to pull out. So that's what that one is. Plant ferns and petunias and the daisy plant. Those are going to go in today. So I kind of make a list of things I need to do. Let's turn the page. Yesterday, I want to journal this. So it was May 12th yesterday. May 12th, 2025. I second mowing of front and south terrace. We call them terrace. They're really part of the yard, but my brother calls them terraces, so I call them terraces. And front. I mowed a part of the back, but not all of the backyard, front and south side terrace yard, south side yard. I didn't mow too much in the back because our ground is, we need some rain. Our ground is pretty dry, and the backyard just hasn't grown as much as the other, and so I'm leaving it till next time. But this was my second mowing. I'm keeping track of how many times I mow during the year. My first mowing was on May 3rd, I think. I got it in here. Second mowing. And I'll just draw a line there. And then whatever I do today, I'll journal in there. And this is an image of a postcard that I sent to Sharon Lombard. I just made a print of it. One of those doll postcards. So that's my writing journal. That's kind of what I put in here. And what's this? Oh, that's going to be my bookmark. we should do that now. But I think I'm done with that for today. Let's move on. Let me come out and look at chat. Let me come out and look at chat. I'm reading off of my phone this morning because my notepad went to 0 last night. And it's still charging. I need to get a new charger for it. Let's do the chat filter here. Get back to all messages. Arlene says, make tea out of the dandelions that you pull. I could do that. I thought about doing it. The dandelions now are pretty much bloomed and gone into seed. And I mowed a whole bunch of the seed stuff down yesterday. There'll be more. I think I talked to my brother yesterday afternoon about it. When we spread the compost on the garden, that was really too much for me to do the whole garden. So I hired a young man to come and help spread the compost out. I'm still digging some out, filling my pots, but I paid him to come and help me spread out the compost on that garden. Well, in the backyard, when they tore down that garage and built the new garage for my brother, the backyard, they tore up the whole backyard when they tore down that house. Their machine, you know, when they knocked the garage down, they had one of those big machines that just knocked the whole shed down. But they kind of tore up the backyard. Well, my brother had tilled it and replanted seed, but it really didn't take too well. And so I think I'm going to hire that young man who spread the dirt, because he does outside work and it'll help him. And I think I'm going to hire him to till it for us. And maybe, I guess I could rake it out. I can do that. I can help till the garden because it's been tilled before several times and it's not hard to till. But the yard has only been tilled once, and the dirt is a little bit more firm and everything. And that's really too much for my back and my brother's back. And so I think maybe in July sometime, I'm going to call him up and ask him if he'll come and till that. And I pay him. I pay him out of my monthly check. And I think we're going to try putting grass in there again. We have a terrible problem with our neighbor's yard. Like, here's our yard here. Our neighbor's yard is over here. In the spring, it's all dandelion, and it blows over into our backyard, and it's really frustrating. I went out there at the beginning of spring and got my dandelion picker, and I must have pulled at least 50 to 75 dandelions out. They all came back. And, you know, it was frustrating. They're just all over the place. But the thing of it is, when they come back and you mow them down and you get them, you know, halfway cleaned out, they don't really grow too much in the summer. But I would like to see our whole backyard get tilled and put grass in there between the houses. The house is here, we've got a backyard here, and then the new garage is over here. And I tried to get my brother to have him cement that in for another carport, because we really do need another carport, but he didn't want to spend the money. If I had the money, I would have a she shed out there. My brother wouldn't mind. I would put a she shed in there, but I don't have the money for a big she shed. I could convince him pretty easy to put a she shed in, because I would call it a storage shed, and I would say, I could get all my boxes out of this room and out of the house and put it out there. He'd probably go for that, but I don't have the money to have all that built. And it would be fun. I dream about having the garage connected to the house and having this whole area connected in there, and having like a studio in there with glass windows on both sides and walls on the garage wall and the house wall over here. We've got a back door here. We never use it to say this is the house here. Well, I don't know if you're seeing my hand. The house is in here. The garage is up here, and have all this connected, and have a walkway in there, and have my studio in there, and have glass windows on both sides, or maybe like a little sunroom. But he won't spend the money on it, and I can't afford it. If I won the lottery, I would probably do that. Let me go back to chat. I got out of chat. And let me read you guys. I've been dreaming. Arlene says, I found an old recipe in my mama's papers, and I fell in love with dandelion flowers, dipped in cornbread batter and fried. Really? Really? Well, I have to say, we don't spray our yard. We don't put any type of fertilizer or spray. Last year when we had to put a new sewer line in between the house and the street, the house here and the street there. We had to put in a new sewer line because it was all vintage, and I think it was a ceramic sewer line when they first built the house, and it was all cracking up and stopping up the sewer and everything. So they dug up the yard. Let me put my phone up here to the top of they dug up the yard in here, between the houses here and the yard is here. And my nephew came and tilled that, where they dug up for the sewer line, and they replanted that grass, and it took pretty nice out there, except the neighbors' dandelions grow in there. All right, let's see what else. Dar said, hi, Dar. Good morning, Dar. She says, dandelions are very important for bees and other pollinators to thrive. No pollinators equal no food. Well, I think we have plenty of pollinators around, because off of our front porch, we've got this, I don't know what it is, but it's a beautiful purple bushy flower. And I'll sit up there on the front porch and I'll watch the butterflies, and we don't have too many bees. I wish we could attract more bees, but they just may not be around here anymore. But we have plenty of pollinators around, and the neighbor's yard has plenty of dandelions. The guy across the street is a retired teacher. Across the street this way, he's a retired teacher, and his lawn is just perfect. I don't see a dandelion in there. He's had it all landscaped. It's really a beautiful yard. And he's always out there taking care of it. And then the guy, here's our house off to the southwest of us, over this way, across the alley, over in here. It was a one-story, kind of a ranch-style brick house. And the man who lived there just recently passed away, and it has beautiful maple trees out front, and it had a beautiful pine tree. They tore the pine tree out. I'm not sure why, but they put a rocked circle in there and a flagpole, maybe to honor him. I'm not sure why they did that. It was a beautiful pine tree. They left the maple trees alone so far. The house itself was a red brick ranch style house, one story. Mine had a basement, but it was like a one-story house, and they painted the brick white, and my brother hates it. They painted that beautiful red brick white. He said, why did they do that? And I said, well, people have different tastes, and he was kind of evil. Well, they ruined it. Well, they didn't ask you. All right, let's see what else is. Let me refresh my chat, because I get off on these little rabbit trails. Top messages. Chat filter. All messages. Pines are weak in the storms. It might have been that reason, Becky. the pine tree. It was a beautiful, big, bushy, I think it was like a blue spruce tree. It was a beautiful tree. Painting brick is idiotic, Becky says. You take something maintenance-free and make it a maintenance nightmare. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, because give that brick 3 or 4 years and they'll have to repaint it. I totally agree. Andrew says, I'm also allergic to maple trees. Becky says, I agree with Tom. He would love to hear that. I'll tell him that, Becky. I'll tell him when he's asleep now. But sometimes when I'm sitting out in the porch, he'll come out and sit out there with me, and we just chat about things like that, painting that house white. I'll say, well, one of my friends on the internet says she's agree with you. It was about painting that house. Hi, Belinda. Belinda Smith, good morning, good morning. Let's see what else is going. They're saying good morning to Belinda. Pines are weak in the storm. My dream, Angie says, my dream is to one day to a craft building so that I can get out of the corner. I understand, Angie, because this little den where I sit is 10 by 10, but try to get all my stuff in here, and my desk, and the buffet, and several bookcases, and the computer desk. I mean, I'm really cramped in here. I noticed yesterday my brother came in here and got the top drawer of this desk that I'm working on is like a school desk, and the top drawer still has his batteries in it. And I noticed he found his way. I'm going to have to tease him. I said, did you have to jump over boxes to get in here? After I get most of the yard work done, I need to get back in here and clear out some of those boxes. Daughter says, hi, Messy Diane. Oh, hi, Diane. Messy Palette. Welcome in. Arlene says, I found an old recipe in my mama's papers and fell in love with dandelion flour dipped in cornbread batter and fried. I guess those dandelions must taste better than what I imagine. Let's see. They're saying good morning to Diane. Arlene says, I would love that, and I would be happy as can be if my yard was all dandelions. Well, you know, I think we have a natural, we think of dandelions as weeds, and I think that comes from seeing all these beautiful lawns where they spray the weeds and we don't spray. So our dandelions probably could be eaten. And I don't think the neighbor guy sprays to the north of us, to the east of that, where that retired teacher. I'm not sure how he keeps them out, but I suspect that he has a weed killer in his yard. I wouldn't eat dandelions out of his yard, but I wasn't hesitate, especially in the backyard over in here, like if this is our house on the north side. This is the neighbor over here that has all the dandelions, and they blow in our backyard over here. They blow in our front yard and in here. And I got that dandelion weeder, that Grandpa's weeder. It works really well, but when you have 500 dandelions to pull, you pretty well have decimated the yard. Let's see. Lala Gamma was in here. She said she just popped in to remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Good morning, Lala. I think she's gone back to bed. She leaves a quote, there's no way to be perfect, a perfect mother, but a million ways to be a good one, unknown. May your day be blessed, joyous, and peaceful from being to the end. Lala. She's tired. She's going back to bed. Angie says, Arlene, just stay safe. Arlene says, Angie, we have thunder and lightning, heavy rain, and wind. I hope it doesn't hit you or Joyce. Oh, they're getting storms in Tennessee? Becky said it was really misty. They had a misty 40th wedding anniversary trip. But I started watching I haven't watched the end of it yet. But I knew that Becky would buy yarn. I started watching her video where she went right after they got home and got the car unpacked. Becky did a video. I missed it. And when she was in here the other day, she said, Meri, I did a video. I said, Becky, did you get yarn? I did a video, Meri. So I started watching her haul video from Tennessee, her and Scott's haul. And then she showed, I think it was on her shorts, where she showed a sign that said Becky's Shoes. And then she's panned over and it said Scooter's Coffee. And so it'd be Scott's Coffee House and Becky's Shoes. I've got a giggle out of that. We have a Scooter's Coffee here in our local area, up where we go grocery shopping. Angie says she's still here. I wish I knew how to make them. Jacqueline, I knew you would like those. What are we talking about? Oh, the wrist cuffs? I was thinking about tatting some wrist cuffs. I could probably, I think I'm going to look for some elastic thread to tat. I think I have some black, but I don't like to tat with black. It's hard to see. But I'm going to look for some elastic thread and make me an elastic tatting wristband. I think that would be pretty. And I would probably wear it if I didn't tat it too tight. I don't like things tight on my fingers, and I'm always playing with jewelry. I don't wear too much jewelry because I pull and break it. Lala said that fabric was a perfect match for the cover. Let's see how it's doing over here. Yeah, this really turned out nice. I think that it's going to be an improvement to my writing journal. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Let's see. Arlene said she thought it looked good on there. Jacqueline loves the frayed edge. Angie said she's in the car. I think I'm caught up with chat. Laura, Cindy Rain Girl was in here. I don't know if she's still out there, but she says, Laura Vasquez is such a sweetheart. Isn't she? She is the person who gifted me this Tim Holtz tabletop here. And I love it. I'm afraid to cut stuff on it. And she gifted me, gosh, she was always gifting me stuff. She gifted me that Tim Holtz mini attacher. And she gifted me the fine art glitter glue and the filler that came with it. And then Renee Suzanne gifted me another bottle. So I've got 2 big bottles of this fine art glitter glue and this from both Laura and Renee. Bless their hearts. I hope that when people gift me stuff like that, there's no way I can pay everybody back for everything that I get, but I just hope that they are blessed with their own art supplies. Every time I use things that I gift from people, I think of them. And I try to mention it. Yeah, I think I'm back up to the top of where I was putting on that fabric. Cindy Rain Girl says, I so wish I had a gardening buddy. We could help each other care for a veggie and flower garden. Would be small due to my knees and legs. Well, keep your eyes open for one, Cindy. I don't know if she's still in here, but you never know, because there's a lot of people that's interested in gardening. I go on Facebook a lot, but I'm noticing on Facebook, you can tell the videos that are AI generated, and usually they're ones that give garden ideas, like using thrift store items in your garden. And that you can tell the voice, it's not a real person talking. You can tell when a video has an AI generated, because it's just one constant perfect flow of words. When there's a real person talking, like myself, you go and huh, and you make mistakes. You talk like a normal person talks. And AI generated, as much as I like the information that it gives me, it's kind of artificial. if I can put it that way. But I was watching one yesterday of ideas for things for your flower pots, and they had mineral tubs like mine, only they were like red and black, and they painted designs on them, like they did zigzag designs and stripes. And I was thinking how fun it would be to try to paint. You'd have to get indoor, outdoor paint, probably outdoor paint. And I was thinking how fun it would be to, because I've got 10 of those mineral tubs, and I could try it on at least one. And probably the ones that are out in the garden that I put around the fence there. How fun it would be to try that. So I do get ideas, but I'm not so much for, they were showing like putting picture frames, like going to the thrift store and getting these big, huge picture frames, just the frames, and hanging them on a fence in your garden, and then growing, it'd be a hanging picture frame, and then you would grow vine inside of it, and it would be considered like a garden wall art. And they showed a whole fence of picture frames. I thought that looked kind of, not in poor taste, but kind of junky in a way. But I guess it's in your backyard, and if you enjoy it, I wouldn't mind one or two, maybe kind of make a little cozy spot. Put a park bench there, and someplace where you sit, and maybe have a fence. We don't have big fences in our backyard. We've got that small 3-foot wire or metal fence, but I wouldn't hang a picture frame. The other thing I would hesitate in putting a lot of stuff in our garden, of vintage thrift store items, is we get pretty high winds here, and you would be surprised how it can blow stuff around. I'd be all around the yard picking up things. I do want to finish my front porch scarecrow. She's out there with no face. She's got eyes and a nose. She doesn't have a mouth. And I need to put a skirt or some type of pants on her. The shirt is a really long shirt, so it's covering her up as far as that goes. But I had a denim skirt on that scarecrow, but she has no waist. So the skirt kind of fell off of her. And I bought some suspenders, but they're upstairs someplace. So my scarecrow she's sitting out there. She's happy as can be. She's sitting by the porch swing. And I'm up to the top. Let's go down to the bottom and see what you're all saying. Belinda says, good morning, Angie, Diane, Dar, Becky, Arlene, and Rain Girl. And Messy Palette says, hi, Belinda. Becky said, I just ground up a bunch of coffee beans, so I won't have to grind every morning for a while. Ooh, I'll bet your house smells good. Grinding coffee beans. I have to limit myself to 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I use a Keurig, and I have a little reusable filter where I put the coffee grounds in the filter. I have to clean it out every time I use it, but I have to limit myself. I give myself 12 ounces, though. I use the 12-ounce setting on it, but I have to limit myself to 1 cup a day, and I'm still awake at night. And this is where Becky said she agrees with Tom. Don't paint that house, brick house. All right, so let's move on. Let me set this aside, or I'll put somebody in timeout. I'm always bumping it. And let's move on. Oh, I have some of Jacqueline's papers. I want to do, let me pull this out. Let me pull, not this one, but I'm working in these signatures in this packing paper journal. And we did the circles here, the stitch circles. And I'm really, really happy with those. This came out of inspiration. I think this came out of What Women Create magazine. And I'm not going to try to hunt it behind me. But I have paper weaving. And I'm going to weave some papers. And I think this is, let me measure this again. I'll just measure it on here. one, I'm thinking 6 by 6. Well, I could cut it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 6 by 6 page. Not all of them are, they're different sizes, but this one is 6 by 6. And what I want to do, let's just turn it over. Yeah, I might use this, because that's that contact paper. No, because I don't want to mess this up. See, I've got a napkin. I think that came from Jacqueline. And this is one of my French ladies. And this was a napkin, I think. And this was weaving. So I do want to do it either, well, probably here, because I'm going to stitch it. Let's just turn this over. And let's get some weaving. And let's weave, and then I'm going to stitch it. Now, I think what I'll do, I think I'll do it off of the book, 6 by 6. And let's get all my papers out. And let me set this stuff aside. And I put my painter's tape in my box here. Oh. My top shelf box. I got disgusted and put everything in a box. But I want stuff, I have to go digging for it. I want my painter's tape. I saw it in here. Put this back up on top of the box. It just keeps things from spilling off of the top of my desk. So I'm going to do a 6 by 6 weaving here. Let's arrange them. And I want different colors. Let's put a brown. I have a coffee brown, or a tan, tannish color. And maybe this one. And Jacqueline, I found another one of your boxes. I mean, one of your bags the other day. I've got all these Jacqueline papers. I'm going to have fun with Jacqueline's. I need to start my sunshine journal. And this may stick out a little, because there's 4, and it's really 4 1/4, but... And let's do this one. And is that 6? Yeah, that's 6 there. I kind of like that. Now what I'm going to do, let's put these aside for a minute, and these aside, and let's move these up off of the, because I want to put painter's tape across the top there. Make sure I have 6. That's not a full inch, so let's move that down. That's only 3/4 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got plenty. And I'll put my painter's tape up here. Oops. It may stick out of my book a little, but I don't mind that. I could trim it off a little. Just a teeny bit. All right, so let me take and put a piece of painter's tape. This is 3/4 of an inch up here. It's not a full inch. We're going to do a paper weaving. And of course it's going to there we go. That'll just kind of hold it while I weave the sew. If I weave with this one first, in and out, in and out, in and out, and push it up. Now that's a little bit wider than an inch. I can tell it's about 1 inch and 1/8. So let's find a skinnier. This is skinnier. No, that's bigger. I'm going to pull that out. And pull both of these out. And I just cut what was remaining on the page, so I didn't measure an exact inch when I cut these. I just cut with my ruler. Let's try this one. There we go. And let's go for one of these lighter colored ones. Notebook paper. Let's go for the lightest one. Graph paper. No, lined paper. I like her lined paper that she does because I like to write. I like to fold it and use it for writing. And still it has some background color. This goes under. No, it goes under. Like that. We'll move it in there and in there. And this will be trimmed off here. It's only going to be that much. Now let's do a darker blue one, or a darker one. Let's do this one. I like the darker blue though. Let's find a darker. Do I have a darker blue? I like this. It's green, it's not blue. Well, I guess it is a blue, but it's wider. Maybe I should go for one with holes in it. That doesn't fit. Let's go for, let's see what I have here. This one. And then a red one maybe. Or the red one first. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Should I do this one? And then this one? Or maybe this one in between. And then another red one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So let's do this one. Oh, do I need to move this up a little? There. Like this. And like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might have to trim it down a little when I put it in my book. But I'll deal with that when the time comes. Let's do another lighter colored one. Trim paper one with some yumminess on it. Here, I like that. So, under, over, like this. Nope, you did it wrong. You did it wrong up here. Under, over, under, over. All right, that's right. Like that. And then I had another darker blue one. I have something darker than that. About the same. Oops. This is not right. Like that. And then this one, over, under, over. Come on. Get in there. Like that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more. And I think it'll be a red one. I have another red one under here. He's kind of big. Do I have a skinnier one? Over, under, over. Under. Come on. Under, over. What did I do? Here. No. Let's do it from this side. Get in there. This guy's complaining. Under, over, and under. There we go. Now, let's straighten these out a little. Like that. Like that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll probably have to trim this end one off a little for it to fit my journal. I could have it hanging, but I don't know if I want. Now what I'm going to do, I think, is tape these at the bottom together. Like this. Tear that off. Take the sides here like this, because I'm going to take this off, but I want them all hooked together, and then I'm going to stitch this. I'm going to stitch down the center of these. And I think the tape will hold them together while I'm stitching, I'm hoping. Let's get the rest of these off. I'll have more to work with in the long run. That's a ribbon. And that's my circle pattern. This tape. I probably should zoom out a little. Let's tape these together. Sort of like that. Now, let's see if I can take this tape off and let's see if it holds it all together. I think it will. This one kind of blends in. The reds kind of blend in, but so be it. The blues blend in. All right, now let's fold this over like that, because this tape is eventually going to be cut off. I'm just going to end up with this area. I want to fold the sticky sides, and I could do it this way too. Let me grab a piece here. Do it this way. Come on. Make me a little frame. So, and then this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm good. I want to cover this up. In here. I got 2 overs here. I goofed right there. Can I fix that? I got 2 unders there. Oops! I don't know if I can fix it. I really don't mind it. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it as a mistake. I got an over here and an over here, and under there and a under there. But I think the rest of this is okay. And I noticed it as I was taping, but I really don't notice it too much when I put my stitching in there. I think it'll be okay. I just know it's a mistake. I always make a mistake. I don't do things perfectly. It's not in my makeup. Perfection is not a part of my art. I'm always making a mistake. Although when I'm tatting, I'm making myself go back and correct things. But this is wrong in here. We'll just leave it. I think the rest up in here is okay. No, that's okay. No, I made a mistake here. I got 2 overs there. But once I get the stitching on there, I don't think it's going to matter. Or I'm not going to let it bother me. Let's put it that way. I like it. I just like it at first glance. It's not perfect. Meri goofed again. Now, let's just tear that off. I'm just making me a little frame here. One more piece in there. Let's just fold that over. Yeah, and this in here kind of bothers me because it's all red. but I don't see it as being all red over here, so I'll probably use this as the front. And let's trim this. Eventually I'll cut all of the tape off, but let's just trim this. It'd be fun to do this with some of Debbie Epps' dyed scientific papers. I might get some of those out and do the same thing later on with the dyed text science papers. All right, so there's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to call this the front. We've got this in here, kind of bothers me, but this really bothers me. Huh. I like this side better, so I'm going to call this the front. And let me get that cigar box out and put the strips here that I'm saving. This is my circle pattern, and I'm saving strips and half circles because I got a lot more to create with these strips. Yep, could have fun with them. I need some more colors though. I've got some plain white ones that I ripped off of when I got a whole stack of those off to the side, but these are Jacqueline's papers. These are Jacqueline's dyed papers. Okay, do I have them all? I think I do. All right, and I'm going to put my painter's tape up, and what I have are two things. I have white and red, and I think I'm going to use the red. I could mix them, but I think I'll use the red, and I need a needle. I need a needle. Get in here. I think I saved some of my needles in here. My big needles. Let me back up. Where did I put them? I don't want to run out in the other room. I know I saved them. Finding them is another story. Found them. Alrighty. And so we're going to thread one of my needles here. The one that's left in here. The others probably have fallen out. And this is one with the little curved edge. I'm going to have to get me a couple more packages. You get these at Walmart for a couple bucks. Get me a couple packages to keep in here. And I'm only going to do one thread. And it's going to be a red thread. There's something special in the Chinese culture about a red thread. I think holding friendship together. A few years ago, I won Streamathon at Kathy Berg's stream, and she sent me this beautiful page or ephemera that had red thread. I guess that's enough for now. It had red thread in it, and it had the reference to the Chinese culture of red thread holding friendships or people or something like that together. And I'm just going to, since I'm calling this the front, I'm going to start over here. And I'm just going to poke my needle through. Now, I will probably not make this a page. I will probably glue my back down. Is this the back or the front? This is the front. That's how I want it. So I will probably put a piece of tape here to hold this. And I almost unthreaded this. Did I? Not quite. Let's get that out of the way. And let's grab a piece of painter's tape just to hold that thread down while I'm stitching. And this will probably get glued down to the page. And so I'll just leave this right here. Yeah. So I want to do running stitches around here, and I think I'll do it, is it called cantha? I forget, where you stitch a square, you stitch around this way, and then you skip and stitch the next one, and then you stitch in there. That's how I'm going to do it. I think that's cantha. There's cantha, and I need Catherine here. There's cantha, and what is the other one? I forget the other one. They both use running stitches. I'm going to have to go back and review my stitching journal here. Let's get my thread. It's catching on to stuff here. Cut that off a little. And we're just going to eyeball it. And I wanted that more in the center. I put it in the center there, but not here. So I'm going to do a little diagonal stitch. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Not going to be perfect, as you can see. Mess with me. Don't mess with me. Did I do this wrong? Let me pull my needle out. I think I did it wrong. Did I do it wrong or right here? Hold on. Yeah, hold on, let me unthread my needle. I did this wrong. Yeah. Did it slip out of my... Oh, I see, I have more of a tail here than I wanted. Let's take this off. Let me get a start. I think I put this on the wrong side. I forget which I wanted as the back and which I wanted as the front. I think I want this as the front, but I may have said that wrong. Just do it, Meri. Just do it. All right, let me get to it here. Let's do it this way. I don't like that, but I also don't like this. But next time I paper weave, I'll pay more attention to what I'm doing. All right, now let's rethread my needle. I like it better this way anyway. It's more centered. All right. Let me rethread my needle and get started again. It's 7:45. I'm going to go until about 20 till 9 today. All right, let's go this way. So right in here. And they'll be pretty long stitches. I'm not trying to do quilting. I'm just trying to, and they may not be straight. You want to come up someplace in here. So wherever I poke my hole is where it's going to go. I guess I could poke my hole with my awl. Let's do that. Let me grab my awl. I have to reach. Reach and grab it. Oh, reach across that box. Now I could make smaller stitches, but I think I'll just keep going like I am. Let's put one there, one here, one here. And then we're going to skip over to this one, kind of in the center, and we're going to go around. So we're coming over this way. And here, let's turn it this way, I can see better. And here, and here. And then we're going to turn it again. Here. So this is kind of slow stitching with paper, paper weaving. You can do the same thing with fabric. Catherine does a lot of paper weaving. I mean, a lot of fabric. She does a lot of cantha, and I forget what that other one is called. It's got a name. There's two of them that use the running stitch, and one goes around in the squares like that, and the other one goes up and down and up and down, or across and across and across, however. One is cantha, and I forget what the other one is called. Do you guys know? Let me look at chat. I haven't bound my stitch journal from last year. Sashiko! Becky had it! Becky knows! Becky always knows the answers to my questions. Thank you, Becky! Sashiko. I think Sashiko goes up and down on each row like this, and cantha goes around. Thank you, Becky. I knew that there was another word. I just couldn't remember it. I'm getting old. But happy. Yep, I finally adjusted to my retirement years. I wasn't very happy when I was grateful when I came down here, but I wasn't really happy when I came down here. I wasn't a happy camper. I was coming from Madison. I was happy in Madison. I really didn't want to come back to Nebraska, but I really didn't have a choice because I needed a roof above my head. And I always, and I probably have journaled in one of my journals. I could probably point to the page. I'd have to dig it out, to where I said, I'm very grateful, but I'm not happy. And it's taken me a while to, and now I'm happy. My brother kind of lets me do what I want to do as far as working in the yard. He's done with yard work. It hurts his back and it hurts his feet to walk a lot. So I do all the yard work and I enjoy it. I have to take a lot of rest because I'm getting old too. And that's why I told him if we till in the backyard, I'm going to hire somebody to till that backyard. I'll wait until after all the garden is in and growing. I'm going to see if that young man who spread the compost out for us will till the garden for us, or till the backyard for us, and I can rake it out and we can replant it. Replanting it isn't hard because you just fill the little cedar bucket and roll it up and down I'll have to rake it out, but that's not an issue. And these are fairly long stitches, but they make, you can see it. Well, I'm down here. Let me tip my camera a little more because I'm working. Let's see, how is that? I have to wait for that might be too much. Oh, I messed it up. I need to tip it back the other way. I'm waiting for my device to catch up with my, now it's too much that way. Just a little, Mary. I'm trying to get it in a happy spot here. There. Okay. Continuing on. And maybe after I cut the edges off here, I will do although they don't really do that with Canva, a border stitch. What do they call them? Why is it when I want to remember, I can't remember it? Well, I'll stitch the little, what is that stitch? God, I cannot remember it. I can't pull it off of the, I'm getting old. Can't pull it out of my head. Blanket stitch. Blanket stitch around the edge. After I cut it. I could leave the tape on it, but I don't think I want leave a little tape edge, but I could leave a taped edge and do the blanket stitch over the taped edge. That way it would hold together while I was doing it, because these will flop. So I think that's what I'll do. Now I'm ready to do the next square. And on the back, I'll have to skip over. So I'm going to skip over to here from the back. And we're going to go on this one. So let's go in the center here. And in the center here. And this is pretty strong because I have this layer, but then the back of this one is under this. So I'm going through 2 layers. Becky said, listening, but she's going to lay down for a bit. She's not feeling well today. She won't be chatting. Becky, you take care of yourself. You take care of yourself. That's important. We don't want you getting sick. So you go lay down. If you fall asleep, that's okay. And these are pretty long stitches. If you were doing this on fabric, you'd be doing smaller stitches and a lot more of them. Okay, so I'm back to the start, and I want to come in this one here. Up this way. And I'm hoping I have enough here, because I just have to do this little 4 square after I get through. I think I'll have enough. Whoops. Caught on my corner here. Don't catch on the corner. I should have measured. Even if I have to tape some on, I'll tape it on the back and it won't show. And we'll look at the back when I get done with this. And I don't know if I have that magazine available. I don't think she stitched in the example that I'm following. She didn't stitch in the center. She stitched onto her base page. She stitched these edges down. I'm going to do a blanket stitch or a zigzag stitch, probably a blanket one around the edge. And I might cut this. I'll have to cut it first and then see how much I want to cut it down. I'm thinking I'll cut this down. But if I cut it down, it won't be centered anymore. So we'll see what I end up doing with my border. We'll fit it on the page. I think I'm going to have enough thread, because I'm ready to do the center here. All right, so I want to put let's turn it this way. I want to put a hole in here. One in here. These are Jacqueline's dyed papers that I'm using. And let me tell you, Colleen gifted me some of Jacqueline's papers from her last sale. And they are beautiful. And here. So let's go back to my last few stitches here. Find it's a little bit harder to find it here. Yeah. Oops, but I put the back end in first. Oops. Let's pull my thread. Here. Where's it at? There. And so in the center, even though it's a 4 patch, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm only going to have 2 horizontal lines. But that's okay with me. I could put in little lines in there, but we're just going to do it how it naturally falls. And I'm going to tape this one down like I taped this one. So let's cut this. And I miss Penelope. She's still on vacation. Penelope went on vacation. She said, "So long, Mary. I'll see you sometime." And she ran away. All right, now what I want to do is grab that signature. What did I do with the signature? Where did I put my signature? It's gone. I had it out. Where did I put the thing? Don't tell me I put it back in the box. No, no, no. Isn't that something how I can lose things in 3 feet of space? Let's put it all away. I have to stand up anyway. Oh! Sitting too long. Here. What did I do with that signature? I thought I had it out. I thought I pulled it out. Did it get mixed up in the stuff that I put back in the box? Let me check. I don't see it. I don't see it. But I'm not done looking. Did it get pushed back in there? I don't see it. Nope. Oh, boy. I'll just break open a new signature, I guess. I'll check to see if it's in this stack of, but I don't think I put it back in there. Honestly, I can lose things. I can lose things in just like that. Let me pick that off before. That's my pan of postage stamps. I don't know what happened to it. Put these boxes back. What do I have on the bottom that's causing that to fall? I don't know. Here's my signature. It fell down between the boxes. Ha! The lost is found. And let's put this. Am I done with this thread? I don't know. I'm gonna slip it back in here for now, so I don't lose my needle. Just slip it in there. I want this to go back in with the round one. No, that's not the one I wanted. That's not the right signature. Did I save out the wrong one? Let me find the stitched one. I wanted to put it with the circles. What did I do with the circle one? Oh, it's still lost. Well, phooey! Are you sure it's not in here, Mary? Here it is. That's where I want to put it, right there. Sheesh. This is a packing paper from Debbie Epps. Sent when I bought her stuff at her sale. She crumbled up this packing paper. And it's really interesting because the packing paper is in a width like this and it's glued down the center. And I cut it in strips this way. And it's made natural signatures. So I want to put this in here. And I'm going to have to trim it a little, which will make my stitches on the outside a little bit closer to the edge. But that's okay. If we fit it in there, let me mark this. Fit it right in here. This is the center. Let me mark where I want to cut it. I should mark it with the ruler. And it'll make my outside stitches will no longer be centered. I should have done this before I stitched it. But I didn't, so be it. It's not going to be perfect. It's woven, not woven perfect either. But I like it anyway. Alright, I think I can pull this out because, oh wow. I'm going to have to, these are going to be real close to the edge over here. But that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be because I want it to fit. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to be brave and cut right in here. And you know what? No, I'm going to cut it on those lines. Hair in my eye, hold on. That fan blows hair in my eye. Bangs in my eye. Get out of my face. We'll turn the fan around. Alright, we're going to cut in here. Because I want this to fit my page. And I might just glue this down rather than try to stitch because it's really close to the stitching. And we'll cut this. You do this once, you figure out how to do it the next time better. Like I would probably cut it to size before I stitched it next time. So my pieces will not be so off on the stitching, because see how close that is to the edge. I really don't mind imperfection though. It's kind of my style. Imperfect is Meri's style. And sometimes it's the imperfection that makes it unique and gives people the opportunity to say, "What did you do, Meri?" And I think on this one, I cut it to the edge because I wanted it, yeah, because we can always trim off if it doesn't fit. And see how much wider it is here than there? Yep. Little imperfect. Oops. There. I like that. But I'm going to toss it. It's hard to toss stuff, let me tell you. You want to keep everything. Now I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to glue it down. And I'll probably still need to trim it a little. Yep, but, oh, I don't want to trim. I want to trim on this side. Well, it's because I'm turning the page. So let's glue it on this side first, and then we'll see what happens on this side, because we can trim more here than there. So I'm going to glue it down with my fine art glitter glue again. I'm loving this stuff. Yes, I am. And I'm going to kind of glue it around the edge here and here, and just kind of put some glue in there and glue that down first. And I probably should have put my magazine there. Where is it? Reach for a wax paper. I smished glue all over my cutting board. Well, I'm liking it. I think it'll shut fine. It's a little bit longer than the others, but I think it'll be fine. So let's finish gluing it. I think I'm running out of glue. I use it pretty liberally, my glue. I probably should not use it so liberally, but I like it. There we go. I am loving that. I am loving it. Where did I put that cap up here? Let's see if I can find the magazine that inspired this. It should be behind me. Close. Is this it? I think this is it. What Women Create. I think I even marked it in here. Here's the circles. This is the circle. It's inspired this. Like that. That's the circles. Letting my chat catch up with me. I'm not on my red dot here. And then the next couple pages is the stripes. She cut. I think this was the one that I decided because it had red in it. And I am so happy with how this turned out. This was really fun to do. Now I could, since I don't have anything on the edges of these papers, I could trim this one a little to fit my... I could stitch around the border, but I think I like it plain in this case. These circles have stitches around them, but I think I like it plain. Let's see, I don't know if I want to trim that because it's awful close. I could trim over here, but this one's clean. So I'm going to leave it. I don't want to trim. I was thinking I'd trim this off, but if I go trimming on this, I'll get awful close to those stitches, and I'm going to leave it. So that was fun. That was really fun to create. Is there something else in this magazine that... Let's kind of look at it here. Let's see if there's something else that inspires me. This is it's a $17 magazine. This is the summer of 2022 magazine. Well, see, she did hearts. She did a heart here. Can you see this? Wait, let me catch up with me here. Yeah, you can see it. The heart here. It looks like it's made up of little hearts. It's a big heart made up of smaller hearts. That's kind of cool. And there's stencil. Let's just see what's in here that speaks to me. a bunch of yarns here. She's playing with yarns in there. This is the contents page. And of course, they're focusing on the artist and the photographer here. I think this is a man and woman studio. And I'm not sure what they're doing. It looks like some outdoor art. Some plants. And that is not torn. This picture floats over, or this is kind of framed here. This is a part of this page. And it looks like they're planting a garden because she's smelling flowers. Bloom TV, your network for all things floral. Bloom TV. I'll have to get in and read this better. I'll bet I could learn some stuff for my garden. Over here is Helen Lund de Boer. And she has done work in textile art in an embroidery hoop. There. So she's doing textile art. Look at her studio. Can you guys see that? Yummy studio with the bookshelves. Mine wouldn't look as neat as hers. Look how she's got all of her books lined up. I hope they're journals, and she's got file boxes in there. Mine would be a mess. But I love how she's got the bookshelves at the back. And she's got all this space. I'd have boxes. I'd have boxes stacked in there because I don't have any place to put my stuff. So I put them in boxes and they're all behind me. I've been thinking about renting a local storage unit and moving some of my stuff into storage, but I debate back and forth because I don't have to pay for it to be in this house. I'd have to pay for it. Look at all the portraits that she's done. Beautiful portraiture. And I think this is still in textile art. She's embroidering there. That's beautiful. Art is a way of survival, Yoko Ono. That's the quote. Art is a way of survival. There's a quote up there. I'm looking for something else that might inspire me. Hold on, the fan is blowing my bangs in my eyes. Get them out of my face. All right. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Pablo Picasso. Find your gift and give it away. I'm looking for something that inspires me. There's garden art in here. Dried flowers. I do have a bunch of dried lavender from last year that I want to trim down. I'm going to get another lavender plant put out in front, in my planter out in front. It seems to do good out there. The little lavenders that I'm growing, I'm going to try to grow them behind the garage. On the west side of the garage. But I'm going to trim down my lavender and make some little potpourris. That's coming up. Then we're into all this Zen. And she does Zen all over the walls and the car. Look at, she's done Zen on her walls. And she's Zen'd her car. Yeah, and the walls. That would drive me crazy. I can't do all that detail work. Here's a mandala. She's working on a Zen mandala. I would never get that finished. Now I could maybe if I was using stamps, if I made a stamp like this and had a circle and could fit my stamps, I could stamp it. But I don't think I could do that, all that pen work. And this looks like it's fabric. Mandalas are they're too slow for me. I drop it and move on. Hopes and dreams, goals and fears. And here we're back to the stitch circles. And this was an article by Sammy Lange, L-A-N-G-E. And this is the journal part, journal section. Color is a power, which, let me turn it here, I'm reading sideways. Color is a power which indirectly influences the soul. Ooh, I love that quote. Kandinsky. I love the quotes in here. And there's the circles again. And we're back to the weaving that inspired today's page. Look at that one. Now, not only did she weave, she did a kind of a collage, and I might do this type of thing next with all my little scraps. That would be fun to do a page like that. Here she's, let me get this wax paper out. Here she has done some mark making on her pages. She's got circles and weaving in there. It looks like she put some circles, like she tucked it under, one of the circles under. I like this a lot. This page where she's put circles and tucked the circles under and then mark making is kind of an upgrade of this one over here. So I think I'm going to move my marker over here, and I'll use what I have left in that box and maybe punch some more circles of different sizes and do another page like this. Will I stitch it? Yeah, I'll probably put stitching in there. See, her stitches, she stitches along the side. She doesn't stitch in the middle. She does mark making. Although the circles are stitched. The circles are stitched on, but she didn't stitch the weaving together. So why are you stitching weaving? It looks like she's done from free stitching, freeform stitching across here, if you could see it. So we can do some mark making on some of those strips. That would be fun to do. We might do that yet today. Get out my paint pens. I've only got maybe about, I'm going to leave about 20 till 9 today. So I've got about 20 minutes here. So I'm going to stop there and get out those, and we're going to do some mark making with my paint pens on some of these strips to prepare them for, let's get some of these strips out, for my next paper weaving and circles. I'm not going to punch circles today. I'm going to do some mark making on these. Not all of them. I'll pick and choose. And let's put my wax paper down. I don't think I really need to, but just for safety's sake. So we're getting inspired out of the What Women Create magazine. And let's get some paint pens out. Once again, here's the page that I did today, and I just love how it coordinates. I like this whole layout. This might become my thumbnail. Probably have to do half and half in there. I love it. I'm enjoying it. All right, we've got green. And I gave my elephant postcard purple eyes the other day because I couldn't see. I thought it was black, and Angie said, that was purple. All right, I'm getting out the different colors here. Is that the same? No, this is a blue and a green. It almost looks the same to me, though. Maybe that's green and blue. And this is the purple. And I think I looked at this and saw this and thought it was black. The end of this is black. Or maybe it's purple. But this is a definite purple. I don't like how they've done this. This whole cap, this entire cap should be this color, not just a little strip. I don't like the caps. And let's see, do I have the yellow? I've got a light yellow. There's a dark yellow. Where's my red? Got the pink. I think that one of these is pink. That one I think is pink. I called it yellow. I think it is yellow. We'll use that one. Is this one pink? That's pink. And I should have a red one. Did I lose my red one? I was using it the other day. Black. Oh, my red one's over here. Alright, I think those are most of the colors. I think everything else is in here except for the gray. Let's get the gray out. The gray is has a different cap on it because I lost the cap. I think that's the cap. Let's take that cap out. Is that the gray? That looks like a black cap. There's my gray. Now, I can't find it right now. I'm gonna stop sitting in here. All right, let's just take some of these and let's pull this one to start with. And let's put some of the, this is either pink or yellow. I think it's yellow. And we're just going to do some diagonals on it. And it's not showing up very well. So let's take a purple and put around it. That shows up. Because it's dyed there. It'll show up better here. We're playing with Jacqueline's papers today, and we're getting inspired by the What Women Create magazine. Kind of like a mini Pick 10, only on, because I'm going through that magazine and picking things out that inspire me. I did that the other night, did a Pick 10. Postcards, I ended up with an elephant. I sent out all but one of them. Oops, where's the cap for the purple? What did I do with it? Where did I throw that cap? Honestly, I might have to grab that other cap. I don't know what I did with my cap. Well, I'll grab the other one out of there. Is this black or purple? That's purple. The other cap is black. That'll confuse me. What I did with that other cap? Why am I so careless that when I take the caps off, I should put them where I can find them again? Or did it roll off my desk? It's probably on the floor. All right, we're going to call that done, and I'm going to reach in that, because I don't want this to dry out. I'm going to reach in that box and get that other cap, which is black, but at least it'll keep it from drying out. I think it's black. It might be purple. No, that's black. Or is that purple? I don't know. It's going on here. All right, that one's done. Let's do a bluish one and a red one. So the blue, this was kind of a light blue. This is a darker blue. Let's get the black and, or I guess that's the purple. The red and the blue. Let's see what the red looks like on this blue. And let's put dots. Let's put dots. The red looks pink to me. Their red is not a true red. It's a pink. It's a pink. And I gotta keep track of my time. It's 8:32. I've only got about 10 minutes here. Put that one down in the corner and do one in there. All right, now let's come with whatever this color is. I think it's the, well, I don't want to say. It's either black or purple. I think it's the purple again, but that'll work. And let's put a dot in there. This is kind of doodling on these, which is fun to do. I'm not much of a doodler on this, so this is good practice. Let's take this green, won't show up much. Yellow might show. White. Let's take this white and let's. No, it's not showing up much either. Connect the circles. Maybe if we outline it. No, it's not showing up very good. It sinks into the paper. I find the white, I like my fine liner white the best to do this type of work with white. You guys might see it better than I do because you got the light going down on it. The green won't show up. Let's go back to this yellow and see if that shows up better. We'll do it over the white. Shows up a little better. I'm connecting the circles. There we go. I think I'll just leave that one. So we got 2 done. What, I got 5 minutes here. Let's do another one. Quick. Let's do that red one. And I think I'll use, how does this show up on here? Yeah, we'll make it kind of in your face stitches here. It kind of blends in, but in a way I kind of like it blendy in there, because once you weave it and put other, like a circle or a plane in there, it will stand out more. I'm kind of liking this. I have a dark blue, but I don't think I pulled it. I think I have another. That's the purple again. I think I'm going to stop with those. And we'll do some more. I doubt I'll probably work in the yard this afternoon, so I'll probably be tired tomorrow morning. I probably will not stream. Sometimes I do impromptu streams on Wednesday mornings, but I probably won't because I've been doing so much yard work. I will be back Thursday morning, and yeah, we'll continue on with maybe some of this. I'm going to quit on the passport ATCs. It's just too much for me. 10 of those, I could do 4, but 10 is too much for me to, what is this? What did I do? I found my other cap. Is that the purple one? I put the yellow on the wrong side. Let's find the purple. See, I do weird stuff, let me tell you. Here, I put that black on the purple. Let's put the purple on the purple. And put my black one in there for a lifesaver. I think I threw a black one away because I used it all. So let's put my paint pens away. I want to thank you guys. I'm leaving a little early today because I have something else I want to do. So we did these. What else did I do this morning? I stitched that page together. And I covered my spine of my journal, my writing journal. That took some time to do all of this, but I'm very happy with this now. It's nice and sturdy, and all that is fixed in there. I'm very happy with my writing journal. And we did my thumbnail. Let me put these strips back away. We'll play with these again. I like that one example where they're mixing circles and mark making and stitching and weaving. That's going to be my next page. I like to play with the cutoffs. These were cutoffs from the dyed papers that I punched those circles out of, and I didn't want to waste them. And I could weave them. So we're going to put these back, and I'm going to put these in here. And there they are. Oops. Let me put that back in there. And put my cutting board away. And I'm going to do my thumbnail out of this, which I'm very, very happy with this layout. And of course, my camera's crooked. I'll fix all that for my thumbnail. I'll take my picture separately. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Hi, Linda. I miss saying hello to you, Linda Veal. Welcome in. She says, I want to learn how to do Zen artwork with stamps. Oh, that would be fun to do, wouldn't it? That would be fun to do, Linda. Angie says, good luck. Okay, everybody. Mama Juju popped in. Hi, Mama Juju. Linda, Becky said she's listening and go lay down. So, all right. Have a great day, everybody. This is Tuesday, so I think Kathy Bird comes on at 9 o'clock. And Becky, not Becky, but Beth Schuler will be on at 6. And there'll be somebody on in the afternoon. I kind of lose track. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.